No matter where you are around the world, you can always bet on the new black media. Let's go.
Welcome back to What's the 411 News, where we bring you news observation, interpretation, and news commentary from an FBA and BGR perspective. Let's get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to What's the 411 News. Glad for y'all to come in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right. And you can also check us out on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Spotify. Welcome back, everybody. How's everybody doing? How y'all feeling? Yo, as you guys can see here, we're going to put that on the screen real quick. There is apparently a new bill being presented in Tennessee. Put that on the screen real quick. Yeah, there's a Tennessee bill. If this particular Tennessee bill goes into law, what will that mean for Black people, in particular Black Americans? All right. There's a particular bill. We're going to go into that bill right now. All right. We're going to talk about that bill right now. Okay. So there's a bill that would allow law enforcement to carry a gun. Get this now. There's a bill being presented that would allow law enforcement in Tennessee to carry a gun while under influence. What? What's really going on? All right. I ain't making this up, man. There's a bill being proposed that would allow law enforcement to carry gun while under influence. Under influence of what? Alcohol and drugs? What's going on, man? So we're going to get into it real quick. Of course, with all the stuff that just recently went on in Memphis, and that's been going on throughout the U.S. in recent years, there's somebody, some knucklehead somewhere who wants to propose a bill that would allow law enforcement to actually carry a gun while under the influence. Now, we can all sit here and think about the crazy things that could go down under those conditions. If Black folks is getting shot up now, you can imagine somebody being under the influence. I don't know if this means while they are under the influence at work, while they're under the influence off duty. Is it both? Is it one or the other? We're going to kind of dive into this a little bit. And you guys let me know what y'all think on it, man. All right. So a proposed bill in the Tennessee Senate would allow law enforcement officers to carry guns even while under the influence. All right. So you got the Senate Bill 827 was proposed by, remember these names, or this name. I might mention a couple other names in here maybe, but Senate Bill 827 was proposed by Senator Joey Hensley, Republican, it looks like, Hohenwald, whatever that is, last month. All right. The bill states, as introduced, allows law enforcement officers to carry a firearm while under the influence of alcohol or controlled substances and certain other circumstances. All right, I'm going to read that again. The bill states, as introduced, allows law enforcement officers to carry a firearm when under the influence of alcohol or controlled substances and certain other circumstances. All right. The bill would also allow people to carry firearms on higher education campuses and in parks, plus prohibits the carrying of weapons in K-12 schools except by certain persons, all right, including any person permitted to carry a firearm under federal law. All right. The bill was referred to by the Senate Judiciary Committee on February the 6th, it looks like. A similar bill was introduced into the House of Rep, or into the House by Representative Todd Warner, a Republican of Chapel Hill. House Bill 977 was introduced at the same time and assigned to the Civil Justice Subcommittee. All right. So that's what we have on this so far. All right. That's what we have going on this so far as I stand back as my camera on its own. There's no cameraman. It's all automatic. All right. You peeping it out. Okay. But check it out, man. On a serious note, you can just think about if this bill goes into law in Tennessee that would allow law enforcement to be under the influence and yet still carry a gun. Again, like I said, you think people would get shot up now, unarmed? Come on now, let's keep it real. There'll probably be other officers popping other officers as well too. If you want to keep it 100, that might go down as well. So it's really something to think about. And let me go back to real quick. As it says, as introduced, allow law enforcement officers to carry a firearm when under the influence of alcohol or controlled substances and certain other circumstances. Now, it doesn't mention what the certain other circumstances are. So it's a thing to go probably read the Senate Bill 827. All right. And let me see if there's anything else here. It was something that came to mind. But also there was it also says this bill would allow people to carry firearms on higher education. All right. Higher education campuses and in parks, plus prohibits the carrying of weapons in K-12 schools except by certain persons. All right. Again, there's a question there. What certain persons are we referring to? All right. Which certain persons will be allowed to carry these guns? All right. Outside of the K-12 schools, including any person permitted to carry a firearm under federal law. All right. So that's a proposed bill in Tennessee. Like I said, you can just imagine the fallout from that should it actually pass. Again, somebody can say something and a law enforcement officer can be under the influence, still carry a gun. You say something, one or two words to them, that triggers them under that influence of alcohol or controlled substances. And then what happens then? Who gets popped after that? It's, how people get when they're under the influence, and you might say a couple of words to them and it triggers them. You might get popped, right? And if I'm not mistaken, doesn't alcohol and controlled substances impair your judgment? So it's kind of weird that somebody would even think about proposing such a bill in the first place. But when I sit down and think about it, and I think about some of these other states with the open carry states without having a permit or anything like that, it makes you wonder, like, what's the actual plan? Is it a bigger plan going down? Because it seemed like they're getting real free with just allowing people to be open carry, don't need a permit. Then they're proposing in Tennessee to have law enforcement officers to still be carrying their guns even while they're under the influence. Again, like I said, man, let's just keep it real. Let's be real about it, right? You might meet that officer, well, and then again, I said, I don't know if it's even includes on duty at the time. Can you be under the influence on duty? Even though the department might not allow that, But let's say a police officer is under the influence on alcohol or controlled substances, right? And yeah, they might get fired once that's found out. But as far as carrying a gun, this bill will pass. They'll be allowed to do that even under the influence. And again, like I said, what would the fallout be? What would the consequences be on something like that? You know, you could say a couple of things to somebody while they're drunk or intoxicated, and that might trigger them to want to fight, shoot you, or whatever, where maybe under normal circumstances, their judgment would be better than that, right? Then, like I said, you're going to have a thing where you might have some, who knows, you can have a black officer and a white officer, and one of them is drunk, and one says something to the other, you know, it might pop off like that, right? So it's kind of, this is very interesting. I would say personally, it's kind of stupid to even present that type of bill. Why would you even do that? But again, it's making me wonder, like, what's the big picture? What's the grand scheme of things? Because there's a lot of stuff being put out there. I even remember DeSantis, we did a story here, if I'm not mistaken, where he was talking about making it, trying to make it allowable or legal to, when you have looters, to be able to shoot at them. And what's really going on with these Republicans? We already know the Democrats was off their rocker, but you got the Republicans coming up with these wild laws or wanting these laws to be put on the books, man. It's crazy. I don't get it. And so, I mean, there you have it. You guys let me know, put it in the comments what y'all think about this particular law, or not law, excuse me, a bill being proposed, a Senate Bill 827. And then there was another bill that was similar to that, that was also introduced into the House by Representative Todd Warner. I told you I remember these names. You got for the 827 bill, which would be the bill that's proposed to allow law enforcement officers to carry guns while under the influence. It was proposed by Senator Joey Hensley, Republican of Hohenwald, wherever that's at. And then you had, that's 827. Then you got 977, which is a similar bill, I guess, similar to 827, presented by Representative Todd Warner. I think he's Republican, Chapel Hill. Yo, the saga continues. All right. That's what I can say about that. And the saga continues. What's really going on with these wild bills they trying to propose? You know, is it true that what's being said, you know, population control, is that part of that plan? You know, they can, at this point, they can care less who gets popped off, right? You guys let me know, man. Let me know what you think. As always, I appreciate y'all, and be sure to check us out. Be sure to follow us here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Spotify. Let everybody know on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Give a thumbs up. All right. Let them know, man. Let them know that the channel is worthwhile, so the algorithms can continue pumping out publicity notices to other people to check out and follow the channel, subscribe to the channel. And like I said, again, we on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. You can subscribe to Spotify and watch the videos there. And of course, here on YouTube, which we are broadcasting to all these places right now at the same time. And again, like I said, I appreciate y'all for checking in, checking us out. Be sure to share these videos as well. Tell people what's going on in the news when it comes to black folks. All right. And as always, we always be back with some more, man. So again, thank you guys for coming in. The question being proposed right now is, if this Tennessee bill goes into law, what would it mean for black people? All right. You rocking with the best, man. This is What's the 411 News, and we out of here. Peace.
Welcome black to What's the 411 News, where we bring you news observation, interpretation, and news commentary from an FBA and BGR perspective. Let's get it.